Welcome to Lifestyles with Terry Lynn. Today my husband wanted this Red Lobster biscuit bay mix. He wanted to try these biscuits. There's not too much in the package, so whether it was worth $2.64, we'll find out. This is all that it consists of. So there's also a little garlic packet in here. You put this with melted butter. So let's get started. I also want to make a soup today, and I'll show you what we're going to put in that. Now, at Walmart, I got 12 ounces of a vegetable mix with cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. Frozen vegetables, 12 ounces. And it only cost $1.16. I have some from the other package. I have some left, over half of the vegetables left. So we'll put this into a soup, broccoli cauliflower soup. So what I'm planning to do is to cook breakfast and lunch today. So we'll see how that goes. And let's get started. Okay, I'm just going to use a small bowl because there's not much here. So, okay. Packet mix. All right then. And it said to add 3/4 of a cup of cold water. There we go. I'll grab a spoon and mix that together with the biscuits, the biscuit mix. And then half a cup of cheddar cheese. This is Colby Jack. I just happen to have half a cup left of shredded cheese. Pour that in there also. I think that's it. So I think it's going to be really easy to make. I don't have a small see-through bowl. I wish I did. I may order one. Those are ideal for doing videos. So just mix it together, and we're going to be scooping it onto a pan. Has parchment paper. Okay. Okay, I'll start scooping here. It said 10 portions. I'm not doing 10. I'm going to save some of this. There's only 2 of us that live here. I'm going to save some of this dough to make pigs in the blanket. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to do it in this video also. That will go along with the soup that we're going to make. Okay, this is not coming off the scoop very easily. It did not say to use flour or anything, so. It said that if you don't have parchment paper to spray your pan, of course. I'm only going to make 6 of these. Woo! So this is real sticky. Okay. 6 of these right now, and I may not even use all of it for the pigs in the blanket, but let me see here. I have something in mind for breakfast besides biscuits, so, and hopefully I won't burn it. You'll see what I'm talking about if you've been watching my videos. I burnt something in a video once. Okay, so here they are. I'm going to put them in the oven. So let's just add a little bit more to this one. My husband does like a big biscuit, I must say. He'll just eat one, but he likes it to be big. I can hardly get him off the scoop. Well, sticky means delicious a lot of times, doesn't it? So we'll see. We'll see. And see how long to bake these. Boy. Whew. Oh. Okay, it said to separate them by 2 inches. 2 inches apart. And I've got 6 on here. And they're pretty good size, I think. They'll expand, of course. So I'll go ahead and put them in the oven for 14 to 16 minutes. I'm going to look at them after 14 minutes, for sure. Okay. Okay, I took the biscuits out of the oven. Here's what they look like. Now I'm going to put melted garlic sauce over these. Okay, here's the garlic sauce. I melted 1/4 cup of margarine. You can use butter with the packet, with the garlic seasoning packet. And I'm just going to put it over the biscuits. You see that? Oh boy. Let's put it on this board. Whatever you can do to make it work, right? There we go. Now you can see them. Okay, most of them, right? The little parchment paper's covering some of them. They kind of folded up there. All right, just go ahead and spoon your melted garlic sauce over the biscuits, over the hot biscuits. Okay. And these do look a lot like, well, they look just like the biscuits we got at Red Lobster years ago when I used to go there. There's a lot. Okay, there's extra sauce because I'm not cooking all the, maybe I'll add these on the pigs in the blanket. That's what I'm going to get started with. I'm going to have to use flour. Yeah, for sure. Let me get this up here. I'm going to have to use flour with that mix. It's real sticky. And, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to use flour with this for sure. And that's how it is when you buy a box mix. And I'm used to cooking from scratch. And that's why I haven't had the best attitude about this, I admit. But my husband wanted to try it. So he said, it will save you time. Well, it does in a way. In a way, it's more of a hassle because this is very sticky compared to what I normally make. But I use more flour. And they didn't say to add flour, but of course you should use flour, you know, when you're working with this, I would imagine. So henceforth, as I prepare the pigs in the blanket, I'm going to use flour for sure. Okay, my husband's going to get up pretty soon. He's going to see these Cheddar Bay biscuits displayed in a very attractive way. And I know he's going to be hungry and want to eat at least one of these for breakfast. All right, then. I got something else cooking. Okay, we have these hot dogs I want to use up. And I'm going to cut them into, there's 3 of them. I'm going to cut them into thirds. Woo! And I'm going to start pigs in the blanket. Okay, I have this biscuit mix. I'm going to add some flour to it. Okay, and just stir that around and try to firm it up so it's not so sticky. So it's easier to work with and less messy on the hands. I think we just did it. Okay. Okay, I've got my dough firmed up and I'm just gonna roll some little pieces and just wrap them around the little hot dogs. It's so much fun and so easy. And you can do skinnier ones and a whole bunch of them if you want and make little mummy dogs. All right. Okay, but I'm just gonna do pigs in the blanket. It's just easier just to wrap it in the middle and it will rise from the baking powder or baking soda that's in it. Just keep making them and then we're gonna put them on a pan that I sprayed. I'm not going to use parchment paper for this. I've always sprayed it when I made these mummy dogs or pigs in the blanket, so why change it up now? Okay. Now I've got them all lined up on a pan. There's a total of 9 of them. I'm going to put them in the oven for about 12 minutes, I would say. A little less than the time that you use to bake biscuits, I would say. And we'll check. I may check them sooner than that. Now I just took the pigs in the blanket out of the oven and here's what they look like. Kind of Halloweenish, actually. I think this turned out pretty well. Normally I use crescent rolls. I make a crescent roll recipe. I did that last year. And that way they don't rise so much and they're thinner and flakier. But here's what they look like. And I'm going to pour a garlic butter sauce over this. What I got from the Red Lobster mix. Okay, I did microwave a little bit more margarine along with the sauce. Okay, that was already in the bowl from when I made the biscuits. Just put it over your crescent rolls. I mean, not your crescent rolls. Your pigs in the blanket. There we go. I think my husband will really like these with his lunch with a bowl of broccoli cauliflower soup, which I'm getting ready to work on next. But there might be one other thing I'm going to do for a surprise. We'll see how that goes. All right, here are the pigs in the blanket with that delicious garlic butter sauce. I put them right next to the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. And my husband will see this when he gets up. He'll probably be up within 20 minutes. So he'll know what he's going to have for breakfast and lunch, or at least part of it. Okay, I got my griddle heating up with some cooking oil. So let's see what we're going to do here. Okay, I'm cooking some kind of pancakes, and I'll tell you about it in just a little while. I've got to focus and concentrate and not let these babies burn. I think I'm going to make mini ones this time and keep it simple. There we go. Okay, here they are. Let's turn them over. Oh no, I didn't burn them. Oh, I started to burn it, didn't I? Well, this spatula, it's a Rachel Ray, but oh my goodness. See, they're looking good. I'm going to turn this off. These are just for my husband. I'm going to save the batter that I made and cook them in a couple days and make some more up in a couple days. Okay, here's another item added to our breakfast and lunch plan. Now we're going to make some soup. Oh, I wanted to mention, these are summer squash pancakes. And I'll show you the batter more closely here in a moment. Okay, here's the batter. It's from the same recipe as the pumpkin puree pancakes that I made a few weeks ago. The ones that I burnt, remember? But this is a recipe I use all the time, and I replace it with squash. One time I even used zucchini. And I used a summer squash that I was using for a gourd as a decoration. I just roasted it in the oven the other day and pureed it. That's what's in this mix. I'm going to refrigerate it in a container, and I'm going to bring it back out in a couple days, and I'm going to make up those pancakes. My husband likes them in the freezer so he can pull them out anytime he likes. Okay, I'm going to let my husband get into the kitchen now, and I'll be back real soon, hopefully on the same video, to make that broccoli cauliflower soup for lunch. All right then, just a moment or so. Okay, here's what my husband's having for breakfast. And he wanted the pigs in the blanket for breakfast. And he told me to put the biscuits, the Cheddar Bay Red Lobster biscuits, he told me to put those in the freezer. He'll get the taste from these pigs in the blanket. I want to mention that the pancakes I made a few weeks ago had sweet potato puree, but it's the same recipe as pumpkin puree. And I did submit that in my previous video, one of my previous videos. Okay. Okay, I'm prepping the vegetables for the soup. This was from a frozen mix. Just going to chop them up in little pieces here. Chop it up more fine. My mother-in-law did not like big chunks of vegetables in her broccoli soup. So I'll continue to chop this up. I'm also going to use some leeks in the soup, and I'm going to saute that ahead of time to give the soup more flavor. And it's a cream soup, so we'll be working on that after I cut some leeks. I've got the vegetables chopped up very finely. Now I'm going to do the leeks. Always have a trash can nearby for parts of the scallions or leeks that you don't want, or vegetables, and just to throw them away. I've got a trash can right down below there. It's a good idea. I'm just going to cut this whole leek up because I'm going to use it for garnish too. We're not going to put cheese like we usually do on this soup. We ran out of, if I put cheese, it's going to have to be mozzarella. You might be okay with that. We are going to use sour cream in the soup. That gives it a delicious creamy flavor. And a little milk, of course. So we'll be working on that base. But when you're peeling your leeks, it's good to have a trash can nearby. That's what I'm saying. Jeez. I'm still feeling this. So now it's a lot like a scallion. I love onions, I love leeks and garlic, and I'm going to grow all that in my garden. I'm getting ready to plant some garlic probably early November. You can grow it a little later than the spring flower bulbs. All right then, just a moment. I'm going to be doing the soup base on the stove. Okay, just put a little oil, and I have this recipe under cream of broccoli soup in a previous video. Okay, or where to get the recipe from. Because I've just been making it, you know, for years when my mother-in-law was still alive, and she just loved it. She just loved cream of broccoli soup. It was her favorite soup. She got it from Panera Bread, and so I had to get a recipe. And that recipe you can find in the previous video, as I said just a moment ago. All right, let's get on with this. So turn up your flame there on your burner. Let that heat up a little bit, and then I'm going to put the scallions in, or you could put onions. That's what the recipe called for. Same thing, basically. It will give that delicious flavor that you need to flavor your soup that everyone loves. And then I'm going to do a little flour. I'm going to make a roux, and then we're going to put water. 4 cups of water, I would say approximately, for the amount of vegetables that I have. I may not use quite that much. I may add some later and see how it goes. You kind of work with it, and it's a lot of fun. And it's a homemade recipe, and it's very enjoyable and very tasty and very healthy. That makes a difference, rather than eating canned soup or soup from a package, a powder mix from a package, or going out to the restaurants and paying too much money for soup. So let's do it this way. Let's add the onion. Hopefully I don't have that flame too high there. Yeah, sounds good. I'm going to save some for garnish. Put that over here. And cook those scallions or leeks. And turn it down just a little bit. Then we're going to add the flour because I've got some oil. And the flour will cook with it and make a roux. You can cook that up. You can start adding your flour I would do about 4 tablespoons because I'm going to add about 4 cups of water. There. If it's thick, you just add more water to thin it out. Or milk at the end, yeah. Towards the end, we will be adding some milk. So now I'm cooking a roux, and I want to give you a view of that. I don't know if I can. I'll bring the camera around. Yep, in just a moment. Here's the roux cooking in the oil and the leeks. And it's basically looks a lot like that biscuit dough did. We're going to be adding and whisking in water and then bouillon, powdered bouillon, chicken bouillon. Okay, so I'm slowly adding the water. It will steam up. I'm going to get my whisk, my largest whisk here. Always have your kitchen tools handy near the stove. Turn that flame up as high as you can until it starts to boil a little bit. Then we'll add some more water gradually. In the meanwhile, I'm going to add the chicken bouillon. I need about 4 teaspoons. 1, 2. Okay, we just add the rest of that. That will do it. You probably, because this has sodium in it, you probably won't have to add salt, or you'll just add a little bit of salt. Now it's a little pasty, so I'm going to add the water, most of it, and we'll see. We'll just play it by ear. This is cooking from scratch, all but the vegetables were frozen, but they are thawed out, of course. Okay. And I didn't butcher my own chickens or anything like that to get the bouillon powder. And you know what, I could have, and I have done that before, chicken parts, cooked chicken parts, and you make your own chicken broth. I've done that before. It's a process. I don't mind it too much. I'll do it sometime. I'm not guaranteeing I'll do it for a video, but I might. Okay, here's what the roux looks like, and it's getting really thick. Getting ready to add the vegetables. Okay, go ahead and add your cauliflower and broccoli and carrots if you're using them. Go ahead and add it to the roux. In the soup, yeah. It's a soup now. It's pretty thick. We're going to cook that just a little while because those vegetables were not cooked that that much. Yeah, so I want the vegetables to soften a little bit. So I'm going to cook them in the cream soup for a little while. Then I'm going to add the milk and the lemon juice and the sour cream. It's going to be really, really delicious. And then, of course, we're going to put leeks on top, like scallions, for a garnish. You can also put shredded cheese. Okay, so I'm just going to let that cook for a little while. I'll let that get to a boil. I want those vegetables to be well done. Okay, I'm going to add just a little more water because it's pretty thick. Okay. So I actually did not use 4 cups, and you may not use all of the water because you're going to add milk too, and that will help thin it out. All right, then we're going to add some milk to this. It didn't call for much. I think it was a cup of milk the recipe called for. And sour cream. Let me get a spoon. Handy to have a drawer nearby with spoons. Okay. And you can turn it off at this point. Yeah, we'll just turn it off. And whisk in your milk and your sour cream. And lemon juice. It doesn't call for too much. Yeah, just a little bit of lemon juice. That's about it. I want a little bit more milk. It's pretty thick. My husband likes a lot of milk in his soups, in his cream soups. He would have all milk and no water if it was up to him, probably. There we go. That's looking beautiful. That's the way it's supposed to look. I'm going to show this to you in just a moment. Here's what it looks like in the pan, and I added the leeks for garnish. And I may add more. And my husband may want some, I have mozzarella. He may have mozzarella, shredded mozzarella for garnish also. Now I'm going to give this a taste test to see if it needs any salt. Let's see here. It doesn't need any salt. Oh, I think it's just right. I'm just used to the shredded cheddar cheese being in it, or sharp cheese. And that must be the difference. You know what? It's on the salty side. I think I'm going to add just a little more water to this. I do like it on the thinner side than my husband does, to be honest. That will balance it out, and it should be fine now. Because it tasted like it was a little salty. So let's try it again. It definitely didn't need salt. The bouillon has plenty of sodium. That is better. That is much better. Okay, you could also add canned chicken to this. And I'm thinking about doing that to make the meal heartier. But I know my husband, and he'll want a bowl of this by itself because he loves cream of broccoli soup. And this also, like I said, and he loves cauliflower and carrots, so he should enjoy this. It tastes fine to me. I'm going to put some in a bowl for him. Okay, this completes the lunch plan I had for my husband, even though he ate some pigs in the blanket for breakfast. So he'll probably have some fruit also. Like there's a banana and an apple back there. Why not? Okay, I'm done cooking for the day, hopefully. Anyway, I noticed some things I noticed. I can make better biscuits than, at least I think I can. My husband will have to be the judge of that. But those were they're pretty decent, I suppose. But I'm used to cooking, baking from scratch. So I'm like in competition with box mixes sometimes. But that was interesting because it's the recipe from Red Lobster. So if you'd like to try that, they may still have some at Aldi for $2.64 a box. Now, the soup, that's another story. I used frozen broccoli and cauliflower. Now, that did not taste nearly as, it did not have as much flavor as fresh broccoli. It just makes the flavor so much better. So next time I make cream of broccoli soup, my husband will probably tell me this also, I'm going to use fresh broccoli. That's the only thing that I would do differently.
But it did work for a quick soup, and it's pretty good. And we can always add some cheddar cheese, or all we have right now is mozzarella, so we could add some of that. All right, then. That's it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one.